Welcome everyone to the Osiris League Playoffs Knockout Stage Season 2. I'm so glad to be here. I'm your host, Dragothi, and today we're going to be having some amazing matches this morning. We got 3 matches at 13 UTC. We've got some more matches coming at 15 UTC, but as you can see above me, this is what everybody's playing for, right? This is the champion insignia, the champion symbol. This is where you want to be the end of knockout stage for Osiris League Season 2. So once we bang to the right here, we got East, and then we got West, and all these matches are going to be played today between 13 and 15 UTC, guys. This is going to be exciting. 3 of those matches are on the right side here, and you're going to see one of those today, UCS versus JWM2. I can't wait to bring this to you. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing, guys. This is a matchup that I think everybody should know by now. You got Kingdom 2, Kingdom 59. These guys have been heavyweights from the beginning of this game. And sure enough, they're still plugging away, going strong. Round of 16 in the knockout stage. So we've got a few minutes before we get into this battle. Again, a little bit delayed. I apologize for the delay. We had a little bit of a snafu at the beginning. But that being said, I want to go to the chat. I want to hear who you guys think is going to win in the UCS versus JWM2 matchup. We've got a couple different things to show you as well as you're doing that. I'm going to show the bets. So these are the lines, okay? This is the line of all 3 of these matches. And I'm showing the bets because I want to show you who's supposed to win, right? Who you think is going to win. You're putting your money where your mouth is, right? Well, this is how you do it. With the betting system in here, you can show who you think is going to win. So right now, pretty much all the blue teams for 13 UTC are scheduled to win. But this is why we play the game, right? This is why we play the game, because this does not mean who's going to win. This means who you think is going to win. And that's why this is so exciting, because you've got 2 heavyweight titans coming up against each other in front of you in just a few minutes. But then the other 2 matches, HKL versus 1008 and BBTH versus 166. Those are both going to be amazing matches, guys. HKL and 1008 were both in Osiris League Season 1 playoffs. Didn't make it to the finals, obviously. That was JWM and OV. But you've got BBTH and 166 also newcomers coming into the Osiris League round of 16. They were in playoffs last year, but they didn't make it this far. Now they're this far. So I see a lot of UCSs. I see a lot of JWM2s. Like I said, this is going to be an interesting matchup. We're coming up to the actual match here pretty soon. Let me jump over to the actual watch screen here. I think we've got maybe about 30, 40 seconds left. So really excited to bring this to you guys. This is the first match of Season 2 knockout rounds, man. This is going to be crazy. I'm excited. Whoever loses goes home. Whoever loses goes home, guys. This is going to be amazing. All right, so let's go to the watch screen here. I think it's going to be popping up here in just a second. I'm really excited to bring this to you, and hopefully you enjoy the cast. Really excited to see what's going to happen here. And then also as well, just to kind of keep everybody afloat here. So you got Realm of Horus. That's who we're casting right now, but there's now 2 realms, guys. There's now 2 realms. You got the Realm of Anubis as well, which is for the later servers. They have their own flavor of this. It's the exact same thing, but it's supposed to make it a little more fair for the newer servers because they don't have quite the new commanders that the earlier servers do. So something to think about. All right, here we go. We're going to watch. Enter. All right, here we go, guys. This is going to be UCS versus JWM2. I believe UCS is going to be on the top left here. So let's do that real quick. Here we go. UCS versus JWM2. UCS on the top left here. Let me go ahead and hide these comments as well. UCS is definitely one of those alliances that people saw coming in this kingdom here, or this Osiris League playoffs, but didn't necessarily think that they were going to get this far. Last season they showed up, but kind of ended a little bit early. I don't think they had their strategy together like they do now. I've seen some really, really good stuff here from them. And then JWM2, again, it says JWM2. It's not JWM, but same kingdom, Same folks kind of running things for the most part as far as strategies go. I know JWM2 has their own flavor of that strategy, so I'm going to be interested to see how these guys face off. Are they going to be going after the Ark of Osiris right here? Is that what's going to be the main priority, or are they going to be playing the structure game? That's going to be critical to figure out. If they're going to be doing more on one side, you got different lanes. And again, main priorities here, right? At the beginning, you want to capture your obelisks for each side. You want to capture your outposts on the way. Then you've got your altars, which are your highest point generating total buildings. And then you've got the buff buildings. You've got the Shrine of War, which is this guy right here. And then you've got the Shrine of Life, which is this guy right here. And then each one of these give a particular buff. So Shrine of Life, 25% healing speed. Shrine of War, battle buffs, guys. We need those battle buffs, 5% attack and defense. So you want to have all these buildings in your favor. You want to be doing this all match. And then ultimately, again, to get the big chunks of points, you want to capture the Ark of Osiris that spawns every 15 minutes inside the match. Depending on how quickly you get this captured every single time, you may be able to capture 3 or 4. Usually in these Osiris League playoff matches, you're not going to see that because it's so hotly contested. It's not very quick to capture this stuff. So match is about to start in 10 seconds. You should see some T1 Cav marches popping out very quickly from both sides. I love seeing the armies pour out of each side. It's just a massive swarm of gold shiny things. And I'm kind of attracted to shiny things here. So you're going to see this stuff coming up right now. And here we go. So JWM2 pouring out already. Like I said, there's your 2 T1 Cav marches, Belisarius and Double C. Let's hop over to the UCS side. You got UCS doing exactly the same thing. In fact, a couple T1 marches going out on that side right there for UCS. So doubling up on, I wonder if they're going to be doing one for the outpost and one for the obelisk. That'd be interesting. You can use the obelisk to basically reset your speed, hasty departure speed talent, which is a good idea to do. Tons of armies just pouring out. Very interested to see. So here's the other thing, guys. This is the first time that alliances are going to be able to use alliance skills in Ark of Osiris. As we're starting to get the opening of the game out, it's going to be the standard outpost obelisk stuff. Now, you're going to start to see some rallies. So let's go over to the rallies here. Each side has 4 rallies, 2 to their own obelisk and 2 to their enemy obelisk. And a lot of the times what they'll do is they'll send a rally to the enemy obelisk here, and then they'll break it. They'll break it right beside the desert altar to try and capture it before their opponent. That just delays point generation, which is exactly what you want to be having whenever you are playing this matchup, because the more points you generate per minute, the more likely you are to win, alongside of capturing the Ark of Osiris, disrupting the enemy and the opponents, all that good stuff. We check the chat really quick. Who am I tipping to win? I am an impartial caster, my friend. I want to see both of these guys succeed. However, only one can. This is the knockout stage, guys. There is no way around it. This is it. This is it. If they don't win here, they don't get the massive prize at the end. They are done. They're finished. So, both obelisks captured for both sides. Again, you've got rallies going out to each one. One to man your own obelisk, the other to try and either capture the obelisk or break it. And let me go to view here. Yep, so landing right there. So, or break it and try and capture the desert altar, which you'll see a couple of these going like crazy. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. And again, your very own Friendly Gecko is in the JWM2 match here. I still see tons of armies pouring out. So you want field presence, guys. Field presence is key. You have to have field presence in this matchup. If you don't, you're going to get overwhelmed, and rallies just will not be enough. Mr. Smoke Turkey cannot do face on this. This is for you guys. This isn't about me. You saw my face a little bit earlier. So JWM2's Double C rally. So again, that tells me, because Double C is more of a mobility commander and not necessarily an open field or rally commander, you're going to see this break around the sky altar, which is going to be right over here. They're going to break it and then bring all their armies this way so that they can try and take it away from UCS. You're going to see this quite a bit. Let's check the middle, see if anybody's posturing yet. Nobody's taking the bait. Okay, so a common problem that you'll see in Osiris League matchups and Ark of Osiris matchups as well is people will commit players to the middle, and as you can see on the top left, it doesn't spawn for over 8 minutes. So those players that are in the middle sitting there, either open field fighting or just sitting there waiting, are not doing anything to help your team win. Both of these teams are smart enough to know that you only need to be there when you need to be there. So that means they're taking those players that would normally be assigned to the middle lane early, and they're putting them on the sides. That way they have, or at least they try to have, a superior number advantage on the field to try and take some of these structures. And as you can see, they broke all of those rallies here. The problem is there's still 30 seconds left, and there's a good swarm from UCS over here to try and take care of these armies. Now, if you can survive, which it looks like they will for another 25 seconds, all you got to do is hop in there first. And then you can take that first initial start of the capture. However, you don't get the points from it until you actually capture it, which takes 3 minutes. So this is really a delay tactic more than anything else. There's only 3 or 4 armies from JWM2 over here. It's about to pop in 5 seconds. Let me pop to the other one really quick too. JWM has that one locked up tight. UCS has this one locked up tight. So let me go ahead and pop back over to this one. Who captures it? Looks like everybody's going to capture their own stuff. So well done to both teams, except for the Shrine of War. Somebody decided to forget about this one. There we go. Now everybody is on an even playing field. It's still 130 to 130 points per minute for each one. But as you can see, again, look at the points at the top. 523 to 529. Everybody did the exact same thing, right? But it's about how quickly are you capturing this stuff. And that all kind of exponentially adds up as the game goes on. So let's continue. Let's see how these are going to start. These two sides are going to start. It's a standoff. It's a Mexican standoff. Nobody wants to cross this line here, because once you cross that line, it's going to go crazy. All these armies are going to clash. And this is going to be the first blood drawn. Well, second blood drawn, because there was some blood drawn up here. But first blood drawn in the open field for just positioning, for structure positioning. There should be some rallies coming out, and as you can see on the right here, there are 4 from JWM2 and 5 from UCS. That means there's going to be 2 shrines, and an outpost. Actually, there's an outpost, 2 shrines, and 2 altars. Interesting. Already going after the outpost. So it looks like JWM is starting to posture forward here, JWM2. And then you've got UCS posturing forward as well. And this is going to be a big clash here, guys. We've got about just under 6 minutes left on the Ark of Osiris spawning. And usually they start, top tier alliances are going to start sending armies to the middle around the 3-minute mark, 2.5 to 3 minute mark, is when people really start to push forward and start to put some armies around this structure. So let's pay attention to what's going on here. Got about 1 minute and 10 seconds until these altars spawn. Then you're going to see a big jump in this point total for both teams here. 2 rallies kind of high-fiving each other as they go by from UCS. Let's jump over to JWM side 2 and see. I see UCS rallies going like crazy. Here's a rally, an Attila Takeda rally. You're going to see this quite often, guys. Quite often in any match. Attila Takeda is very, very popular. Saud and Takeda probably as well here. Very popular as well. Very awesome and devastating rally that you're going to see often in this matchup and in really the whole playoffs. Attila is doing a fantastic job here. I'm not sure if UCS has the open field presence here to maintain this structure. I don't think they are. This is possibly going to go down. UCS needs to bring some more troops up here from the top right. Now, Constantine Charles is a good counter. Constantine Richard, either one, in Ark of Osiris is a good counter against Attila. The problem is the open field presence from JWM2 is very significant. Now you can see UCS is starting to whittle down. They're starting to whittle down some of the support from JWM2. That's an interesting tactic. I wonder if they're just saying, just keep it up enough to keep it in our possession, and the rest are just going to go ahead and work their way around clockwise on all these other armies, and then they'll focus on the rally, because the rally, it's very hard to swarm. Attila Takeda is devastating from a swarming perspective. If you swarm an Attila Takeda rally, you're going to be sent back home with a lot of severely wounded troops. UCS is starting to kind of own the field here now, so that's good for them. And they're, like I said, they're popping in an army just quickly enough to keep it. This Attila rally is holding up very, very strong. But again, I think there's a lot. Oh, see, you got a bunch of UCS members going to the middle. We're at the 3-minute mark coming up, so they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And I guess that they're splitting up their forces to do just enough here to keep this structure. Now, you see this, the garrison changed. You got Richard Primary here, and I don't know if that was on purpose or not. I wonder if they're hoping. Yeah, they just refilled it again. So Ende doing a great job of swapping his troops and keeping that garrison topped off. Now JWM taking the Shrine of Life here, even though UCS does have field presence. That's an interesting misstep here by UCS. So that's the first. Well, no, I take that back. UCS over here took the Desert Altar. Look at this. This is an amazing take by UCS. I apologize, I missed it. There's stuff popping all over the place. It's really hard to keep up with all these rallies going up. You still got 4 more rallies going crazy. There's a structure here blinking. Now this is an unsupported rally. It's very difficult to take a structure in this level of the game with an unsupported rally. You saw what supported rallies looked like earlier with the 2 Desert Altars, but UCS now currently holds, or currently has in their color, 3 out of the 4 Desert Altars, or the altars in general. So those are the highest point generating total buildings in the matchup, guys. So this is definitely what you want to have. If you're trying to win this match, you want to make sure that you have as many altars for as long as possible throughout the match. That's going to help you win for sure. For sure. Let's check the middle. I think there's going to be some well, heck with posturing. How about just straight battling? Here's where all the alliance skills are happening, guys. So look, they're popping all these alliance skills right here because there's a concentration of troops. You need to own the open field to get the Ark of Osiris in your favor. So you're going to be seeing right now attack and defense buffs, or attack and defense debuffs, and then once the arc pops and somebody has the arc, there's also a movement speed buff that you can drop on your folks, as well as a movement speed debuff that you can drop on your opponent as well. So this is where alliance skills are going to start coming into play, and you start to see them all popping off right here. UCS still has 3 of the altars with 30 seconds left. They may take this and start actually getting it. Where's the rally? Where's the rally from JWM2? There's 2 of them here. I'm assuming this is it right here. Yeah, it's likely about to pop out and go try and take it back. But, man, this is going to capture in favor of UCS. They're going to generate at least 1 or 2 minutes of points. And looking at JWM2, they're seeing this, okay? So they're starting to own the open field. If we zoom out just a little bit, you can see the dots. So you can kind of see a heavier dose of red dots versus green dots, at least right now. More green, blue dots are starting to come in. Did I say green? I meant blue. Red versus blue. Blue dots coming in here. You got red dots already kind of positioned around the arc here. Red being JWM2 and blue being UCS. And more UCS are pouring in from behind here. I'd be interested to see if anybody's going to be doing any end around plays and bringing their armies around behind their opponent and trying to sandwich them. I've seen that work to great effect. And looking at this battlefield, you know, JWM2 is doing a great job right now of pushing UCS away from the Ark of Osiris spawning point, which is now available to be taken. It is neutral right now. Another thing to take into account here, Season 1, it was very difficult to select the Ark carrier whenever you were in the middle of something like this, because there's so many armies, you can't select the right one. Now you can select this Ankh here at the top left, and you can see who has it. So you see they popped the buff. He's got an attack, defense, and movement speed buff. Just B is beelining it back to the JWM2 side. Now the problem is going to be they don't own their outpost right here. You got 2 folks from JWM, or that might be the same person. It looks like it is. They need to go back and capture this outpost, or the Arc Runner needs to go to the Shrine of War over here, which is still owned by JWM2. But Looks like JWM2 has gotten both of their altars back too. So if they can keep this going, this is a 3,000 point win right here if JWM2 can capture this Ark of Osiris. This is going to be really good. You should see, so I see some people asking for some Ramses and Artemisia stuff. You should see some of that stuff coming up here relatively soon. I know that there's been some rallies going already, but Attila Takeda is just so powerful. A lot of times you're not going to see, here's an Artemisia army right here. It's not a rally though, and it's getting nuked down pretty hard. That's JWM's player. This Ark is still rolling, guys, and it has not gone down yet, although it looks like it's about to get caught up to, and it is. So JWM needs to push these UCS guys off the Ark carrier so they can get this thing captured. They're close. They brought it back quite a ways. Now, here's the thing. If you're UCS, right, this Ark is way back in JWM2 territory. There's no reason to try and bring it all the way back to your side. What you need to start worrying about doing is capturing their outpost and holding it, and then trying to capture it for yourself. That's a play that I've seen over and over and over again many, many times in the last few weeks as we've gotten to this point, which is the knockout stage of Osiris League Season 2. This is going to be fun, fun, fun. Can't wait to see who wins this match. It's a tight match already. 6,700, almost 6,800, just over to 5,600 points. So it's about a 1,200 point game in favor of UCS, and a lot of that had to do with losing the Desert Altar, guys. There's another Attila rally over here, and this looks like this is a terrible garrison for, yep, they just switched it back to Richard. That's good. So it looks like they might have been swapping some folks, but they've got a lot of people committed to the middle. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold this. They've got a supporting army kind of, you know, rooting this Attila rally on, not really doing anything from a battle perspective, but just kind of sitting there. I guarantee you he probably has armies in the middle trying to help out as well, which is why he's just standing there. But it looks like JWM2 has finally cleared out the last march trying to kill the Ark carrier. So Just B just made it and is going to be lining it into, okay, that's too corny, guys. He's going to capture the Ark. It's going to be fun. You're going to love it. So this will give a slight edge, a slight advantage of points to JWM2, and this is exactly what they were counting on, because right now it's a 1,400 point match. Once this is captured, it's going to be a 1,500 point match in favor of JWM2. That's why the Ark of Osiris capture is so important, guys. It's so important. So now we start to focus back on the structure game, right? UCS said, oh crap, we lost the Ark. Let's go look at our structures, and I'm about to lose an altar up here on the top right. The Desert Altar looks like it is going to go down. Ende could swap this out, but he's probably also the garrison. It's just going to be too much, and JWM2 takes the Desert Altar in favor of their alliance, taking it away from UCS, stopping that point generation, and then hopefully trying to capture it for themselves. But now all those folks that were in the middle of UCS are coming out to the edges, and they're like, hey, these are my structures. You need to back off. So that's what they're doing there. UCS definitely has this Shrine of Life on lockdown. Not enough field presence to help that go in favor of JWM2. We got a rally going on over here. Wu Zetian garrison defeating whoever was leading that rally. I'm not sure who. But UCS pulling back, knowing that they don't have a rally there anymore. That's a smart move. Don't waste troops. You want to have as many troops available on the field as long as possible, as much as possible. So, Obelisk. I haven't seen any Obelisk rallies. I'm curious. A lot of times people will send Obelisk rallies to kind of put people on their back foot, because a lot of higher tier alliances right now, they're pushing so much into their front line. And UCS did take the Shrine of Life, by the way, sending that garrison from JWM2 packing. There's an Artemisia on the field there right now, too, taking some hits from an Alex-led army, an Edward-led army, and a Guan-led army, and an Attila-led army, and a debuffer from, oh my goodness, this is a swarm. Let's see how, oh, there goes another rally, too. There's your Ramses rally, folks. There's your Ramses JWM2 rally. A little slow going, but there's your guy. There's your guy. And it looks like he's got YSG second. So this will be an interesting rally. I don't see any... See, here's the problem, guys. There's no field support. So once this gets here, you've got, what, a couple armies here that are half dead? 3 armies, all half dead. And you've also got UCS here with a Lohar rally, or a Lohar army. That's interesting. But you've got reinforcements coming. I already knew they were coming, because why wouldn't they be coming? So Ramses YSG rally about to hit this structure. Unless this structure does not have many troops inside of it, then it's going to be very hard to take because, again, your field support, it's basically gone. There's not enough time for stuff to come up. Now, UCS, again, has really taken this lane and owned it. They've got both the altar and the Shrine of Life down here at the bottom. Now, JWM2 is pushing to get it back, but this looks pretty full. This Shrine of Life looks pretty full. So it's going to take a rally, which takes at least a minute to organize, and then another probably 30 seconds to arrive. Now, here's the Ramses rally doing some work here. Now, it's getting debuffed by an Edward Tamiris army. You've got, looks like a Constantine Richard as well. And the problem with these Ramses rallies here, guys, is you're kind of squishy. I mean, there's some defense here. There's some counterattack reduction, that kind of stuff. But depending on your equipment, you're kind of squishy. YSG has no defensive capabilities whatsoever. So you're looking at definitely needing field support. That's what I was saying earlier whenever this arrived. Without field support, this is exactly what happens. You get swarmed down. You just don't have enough juice. However, Ramses is doing a fine job against this structure. If he didn't have the swarm hitting him, he definitely would be taking this structure. That's impressive. Because, again, Constantine Richard is one of the tried and true combinations of Osiris League and Ark of Osiris from a garrisoning perspective because they're so good against both skill damage rallies and Attila Takeda. All right, down goes the Ramses rally. Let's pop up here. Ooh, JWM2 is saying, no, this is my Shrine of Life. I don't need no stinking rally, although they do have one. There's an Edward rally right here, but let's just go ahead and swarm it too. Why not? Let's do it. And they're going to take this Shrine of Life. Let's see where that skill was popped off. Yep, here we go. There's a big, yep. When you start seeing skills start popping off like candy, that means there's big stuff going on. So JWM does take that Shrine of Life there. Looks like there's somebody from UCS being a little bit of a nuisance trying to take these outposts away from JWM2. UCS just giving somebody a little bit of free reign to go take those outposts. But right here, you've got an Attila Takeda rally from UCS, and you've got Wu defending. That's not the best garrison against Attila Takeda. You want to have Constantine Charles Constantine. I've heard Artemisia does a fair job at it as well. Both of these kingdoms and alliances have Artemisia and Ramses, so they should be employing these guys on the battlefield. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting to see because, again, you can see it. Even with the swarm, Wu is going down. Wu is generally known as an anti-swarm commander, but because Attila Takeda is so good against Wu, it's taking some significant damage. The debuff from Takeda, the raw damage from Attila, it looks like the rally is going to go down. Luckily, they started swarming. JWM2 swarmed that rally and dropped it, but now they've got to deal with the army swarming Wu. Now, Wu is in better shape here. Now that Attila Takeda rally is gone, they need to reinforce it. JWM2 needs to reinforce this right away, but it's going to be easier because Wu is really an anti-swarm garrison commander, 100%. They need to pop some people in there right now because this is bad. This is very bad. They need to put some people in there right now. It looks like, I don't know who the second commander is because it's such a mess here, but this is going to be interesting. And on top of all this, Arc spawns in 2.5 minutes, guys. This is going to be very, very interesting. And that UCS army is being a heavy nuisance on these outposts. Look, taking 2 of those, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. This might go down, guys. You've got JWM2 needs to swap out some armies, and they don't and lose it. Oh, my goodness. Now, UCS has 3 altars. They are down by 2,000 points, but look at the points per minute now. UCS has almost doubled by 10 points, almost doubled. Now, JWM2 got one of their buildings back and starting to generate points, so it's a little closer, but you're getting my drift here, guys. This is everything. These altars are going to be key. You have to at least keep them on your side. Because, again, the shrines, while they're nice, and getting the healing speed buff is nice, these armies don't need healing speed. They're not healing anything. At least they shouldn't. I mean, these guys have so many troops, they don't know what to do with them. So getting 80 points per minute from these shrines is critical. Or, yeah, the shrines. But look at the points per minute from the altars, 150 points per minute. You need these structures. You absolutely need these structures. You can't let the opponent have 3 of them. That's a big disadvantage for your alliance. Now, here we go again. Again, JWM2 pushing this desert altar and doing a fine job. Another Attila Takeda rally going up against Constantine. And if it's not properly reinforced, this does end up turning into a bad trade. That's exactly what it looks like it's going to happen here. So you got Attila Takeda here half health on the rally. Garrison from Constantine looks like about 20% health, so looks like more reinforcements coming in from JWM2. Good job from him. He's going to try and help hold this up. Looks like a Richard Saladin? Something. Either way, it doesn't matter. As long as he's popping in there, he's not changing Garrison. That's all they need. They need those infantry troops. He needs to get in there with a quickness. This until it's Cater rally. Eventually, I think, looks like Constantine Wu, by the way. Doing a pretty good job, actually. Now, again, JWM2, you should be seeing this. And, yeah, they're pouring some armies up here. If they can get there quick enough and reinforce this rally and start to take out these open field armies around it, they actually do have a shot to take this. Now, it looks like JWM2 did take this back, sent that rally that came over here packing. So now it's backed even. But, again, look at the points per minute. It's not generating points yet because it's not fully captured. Now, look at this, though. UCS, and I missed it. I can't believe I missed that. Took the obelisk. Again, what did I say earlier? I was surprised because you send obelisk rallies not necessarily to capture them per se, but you send them to be a distraction. So you send the rally here. Everybody around here is like, wait, this is our obelisk. We're right here. Let's kill it. That means those armies that would normally be forward are here. That means you can start taking the Shrine of War, which is, you know, exactly what it looks like they're doing. Try and take their Shrine of, or their Sky Altar over here. And the arc is popped, guys. Let's go pop to the middle. Can't miss that. So bogged down. That is a movement speed debuff. That is a movement speed debuff. And JWM2 is doing a fantastic job with this arc capture. They're going super fast, even with the march speed debuff. Their open field presence is good. As long as they can hold their own, which, again, they just took back their obelisk, so that's a thing. Luckily for them, because if that would have captured for UCS, I would venture to say maybe a couple cities might have ported over here and started trying to null down some troops or something like that. Maybe they would have. I don't know. Probably wouldn't have been the smart play, but it would have been fun to watch, wouldn't it? So, again, JWM2 is doing really well. However, UCS does have the arc. And again, to see who has it, you just click it. And there's the arc. It's down. So nobody has it because he just dropped it because he got swarmed down. But you see here, JWM2, except for Think here, is really owning the open field. Doing a great job clearing out the UCS folks. And JWM2 is winning. And you saw earlier, guys, with the bets here, JWM2 was not favored to win this. UCS was favored to win this matchup. So if you bet on JWM2 and everything ended right now, one, it would be considered an upset. And two, you win a lot of coins, of Oric coins, which you can use to buy some stuff in the shop. Really juicy stuff. So JWM2 owning the open field here. Let's see if UCS, again, if I was UCS, I would be coming around the sides. Because if you come through the middle, and this end day rally almost took this, that's actually kind of clutch. That was whoever these guys are from JWM2, heroes, straight heroes, because this almost took that this almost took that structure. But Just B again is killing it with the look how fast his Guan's going. Look at this. That is an amazingly fast infantry group. That is an amazingly fast infantry group. Yeah, guys, we discussed, because I also thought about maybe swapping between some of the different matches. We discussed it. It just isn't fair to these guys because all of these are really, really good alliances. And these matches are good. I mean, look at it. We've got a, what is it, 2,100 point game? I mean, this goes anybody's way. So we wanted to stick with one, but you guys can go check out the watch screen on your game, on your device, and go check out the other scores. If you guys want to update people in the chat, that would be awesome too. We have other matches starting at 15 UTC as well. This guy's bored, I guess. And then Just B again, capturing the outpost. I didn't see anything from UCS. JWM2 just has a solid field presence on their side of the defensive area. It would be very difficult for UCS to come in here and try to do anything to capture that. So I guess they just tried to get on with trying to capture these structures back. And now with that capture, JWM2 is in the lead by 5,500 points. And the points per minute total is basically even. 50 points per minute less for JWM2. That is likely an outpost or something to that effect, or an outpost in something else. Yep, there's the outpost. Now you're back to 590. That's interesting. So here we go. Knotted up. Points per minute are even. Looks like JWM2 successfully defended that structure. You got another rally coming here to the outpost. Okay, yeah, so he probably sent that trying to do something for the arc, and it just took too long. The interesting thing here is that this rally only has 500,000 troops in it. So this is actually less than 2 full groups of armies, less than 2 full armies in this rally. So even if you come over here and capture it, unless you're doing it for the arc, this is kind of pointless, in my opinion. Other than to maybe be troop transport, but even then, now you're not going to have a full army. So not sure why that's going down, but it was likely done because trying to get there before the arc was captured, but Just B was really fast. Really fast Johnny on the spot with that arc capture. So 6.5 minutes on the next arc. UCS has to get this next arc to stay competitive in this match. If they do not, it's going to probably be lights out. If JWM2 captures a third arc, that will probably put the last nail in the coffin for UCS, and JWM2 will be victorious. UCS is down right now, yes, by 5,500 points, but not giving up. I mean, you see a lot of UCS swarming forward, trying to take all these structures. You got more rallies, 8 rallies out, 4 from each side, 5 from JWM side. 2 are battling right now. Let's check out this Shrine of War. No field presence from UCS. I think they're sending most of their field presence up here. Yep, there they all are. See an Artemisia out on the battlefield here. That's pretty sweet. This is going to be interesting, guys. I'm curious to see if UCS can pull back into this. They're down. They're not out. They definitely need to capture the next Ark of Osiris. I'm interested to see if they can pull it off, because the first 2 have been pretty handily captured and quickly captured by JWM2. We're just over halfway through this match, guys, and 2 arcs have already been captured. That's very rare for a last of 16 Ark of Osiris, Osiris League playoff matchup. Usually those battles last a lot longer. JWM2 is doing the right thing at the right time, positioning their troops correctly, and winning the open field battles. And that's really what it boils down to when it comes to Ark of Osiris. Capturing that Ark of Osiris is winning those open field battles. We've already got somebody from UCS saying, this is my area. We're at 5 minutes, guys. I told you, they have to know that they're coming early. They have to know they need this arc, guys. You can tell. Look at them. They're already coming at 5 minutes. We just talked about it earlier. 3 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes is usually when you start coming in the middle, because you can start kind of pushing some people around right around the time the arc spawns. No, UCS wants this, and they want it bad. They are pulling heavy. Look at that. They're pulling heavy troops to the middle and sending rallies. But again, if you're pulling troops the way you are, you can't support your rallies on top of it. So this is going to be very difficult to capture any structures. I don't foresee any of these structures going down. You've got a defensive alliance skill on this desert altar as well. That's very, very helpful to keep that in your favor, especially if you've got this kind of reinforcement in the open field around it. And JWM2, I think, has noticed that UCS is coming to the middle. They're pulling everybody, guys. This is going to be a massive battle in the middle. And you don't want to be right here. This is actually going to be the kill box. You don't want to be here yet. You don't want to be here yet if you're JWM2. You need to pull back just a little bit more. You need to be around here. This needs to be your spot, because you've got people coming in from the sides, and they're going to sandwich you. Or if they were smart, they're going to sandwich you. But if not, then they're going to engage some people on the side and do their own thing. Yeah, this rally is going to go down. They should re-rally this. UCS should. And then break it and come in from behind. That should be the play. Now, luckily for JWM2 here, there weren't enough people coming in from behind for UCS to really cause some damage. And on top of that, look at the open field presence from JWM2. This is insane. How many armies are where they need to be at the right time. And sure enough, they're going to nuke down all of this extra stuff. Now, you don't need to peel off. Don't let everybody peel off just to go kill 2 armies. I can see the bloodthirst. Look at them. They're all bloodthirsty. They're all bloodthirsty. They want all these blue armies to go pound sand, go somewhere else, get out of here, get off of our side, and then come back to the middle. Now, see, again, you pull off, and now UCS is positioning forward so they can have a good posturing position here. Now JWM2 is going to have to engage them a little sooner than they wanted, because they have to go through this buffer here. Now, the other thing, again, just like I told you with UCS, what they can do, JWM2 can do the same exact thing. They can bring some folks around the backside and try and pincer them. JWM has a secret talent to stop Attila Takeda. It's not that secret. If you pay attention to the talents, you can figure it out. The JWM2 figuring that they need to go ahead and start positioning forward again. 2 minutes left until the arc is captured. Looks like UCS used a defensive skill here. JWM2 with some solid presence up here alongside of the rally, although the rally looks about even. War drums also used in the middle. That means battle starting, guys. Everybody said, clump up, let me buff you. Here comes the attack buff, the defense buff. JWM2 is double buffed against UCS with no buffs. Here comes the buffs. Okay, now you're going to see nice little orange and blue swirlies. And then once the arc spawns, then you're going to see some march speed buffs and debuffs. This is going to be insane. This is going to be fun. This is just watching this. It's like watching fireflies fight at this point. But JWM2 again. JWM2 capturing all of these buildings. Look at these buildings. They've got 3 of the altars. They've just captured another Shrine of Life. Everything's blinking, but JWM2 owning over half the map. Well, they just lost it again. So looks like they just lost that. No, they've still got 3, and they're trying to get the 4th one. So no, they're doing good. I thought this one was red for a second, but it wasn't. So it looks like UCS will hold that altar. However, JWM2 currently has 3 altars, probably 2 currently generating points and 1 counting down to generating points. And look at this. Let me zoom out a little bit. Again, I told you guys the dots on the map don't lie. So you've got blue versus red, blue being UCS versus red JWM2. If they're going back home that fast, that means they died. Okay, so that means they just got smashed. And it looks pretty even. I think JWM2 is about even to UCS. Maybe a few more for UCS too, or UCS, yeah. Yeah, UCS has a few more armies on the battlefield than JWM2, and they both have the proper buffs. I like how the buffs are kind of showcased with the little red circles. That's pretty sweet. That kind of shows you, because these guys don't have them. These guys coming in, they don't have the buffs. All these armies should be fairly whittled down by now, though. So look at this. A lot of red armies, a lot of yellow armies. Not very many white health bar armies sitting here. And it really depends on who comes in next. So UCS is pushing hard for this arc. They want it bad. Looks like Leah from UCS has grabbed it with a Saladin. Not moving, but he's, it was grabbed. And it did help a little bit, bringing it towards their side of the map, but should have took off real quick. And now that army's moving, but now it's down. Because, again, when you have the Ark of Osiris, guys, you get a march speed debuff of 50% and a damage taken debuff of 200%. So you're slower and you're more squishy. That's a problem if you want to stay alive. So doing really well here, guys. I think both teams here, especially if all the players from JWM2 were fighting, that would be really nice. Because you got a couple folks from JWM2 over here just kind of sitting there. There we go. He probably lagged a little bit, or decided to take a drink and center himself before throwing himself into the fray. We've also got rallies, guys. We've got tons of rallies going on. So much action and so many armies going out on the map here that there's a counter rally coming from JWM2 against this Attila Takeda. Very, very nice. More debuffs and buffs going down in the middle. My goodness. Arc is captured in favor of JWM2. How did they do it? Just B is just being amazing. Look at this. He's down, but look how far he got. Look how far he got compared to the person that grabbed it for UCS. Very, very solid player from a arc capture standpoint. Very, very good. More players coming in the middle from JWM2, trying to support. Lots more players coming in from UCS. Look at all these armies coming in. It's amazing. There's going to be a crazy amount of battle here. This is how long these arc captures usually take. And like I said, UCS knows they need this arc. Like, they need it. Like, if they don't get this, it's time to start thinking about calling it. That's how crazy this is going to be. They need this arc. They're going to fight tooth and nail for this arc. A lot of sad faces going back for both sides. Again, those armies that were in here during the middle, they're starting to wear down. Lots of red armies. Look at this. These are doing nothing. Like, they're just here. They're not doing any damage because they have no troops. So they're doing it. They're killing themselves all the way down to 0 so that they can get sent back with quicker sad faces versus marching back with a couple troops in your army very slowly. This is the way to go. That's exactly what you should be doing, is letting your armies die off versus just marching back. Because if you're marching back, you're marching at normal speed. And if you are smashed, you go back faster. UCS does look like they are starting to own the open field, but JWM2 is posturing more forward. It's just going to be a matter of who can continue to keep the pressure up. I think this arc is going to take probably 10 minutes to capture. Now, UCS has it. It's Sieg Kaiser, has a Guan, moving very slowly. I don't think anybody has any more points for alliance skills, guys. So you're probably going to see a little bit of a lull in alliance skills being popped off here. And this would be a prime time to have them, but they used them all at the very beginning, which is also a prime time. So no fault there, but this would be a good spot for a March speed buff. This would be a great spot to be dropping a March speed buff if you are UCS. It's just a matter of, having a crystal ball and knowing exactly what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, which is very, very unlikely, but very good in the same time. So you got JWM2, UCS sitting here pounding away, trying to get this arc. UCS grabbed it again. This is TGI1 with it, and he's beelining it, trying to be the same as Just B and beelining it back to the UCS side, trying to capture it, trying to capture UCS's first arc of the match. And again, this is a critical arc. He's about to drop it again, but made it at least back to center because Just B grabbed it and bolted. Took it all the way down here. JWM2 needs to keep the pressure up coming up in the middle. And then also, again, I've said it 100 times, guys. This is the way. Take these guys. You're not going to take the shrine. You're not going to take it. You're just not going to take it. Take those guys and come out from behind. This will pull some of these guys away from this cluster. And then that will make it easier for your main center lane armies to go ahead and start piecemealing these guys together. Disruption is everything. Disruption is everything. You want to see red coming from this way if the arc is going this way, or if the arc is going to the bottom for JWM2, you want to see blue coming around this way, which is kind of what happened, but a little bit delayed. JWM2 is doing a fantastic job. It's an 8,800 point game in favor of JWM2. And even capturing this arc, guys, even capturing this arc does not win it for UCS, not even close. That cuts the lead in half. There's still 4,000 points they got to go figure out, which means they need to be taking these structures. And right now I see a lot more blue buildings being rallied than I do, or at least blinking, than I do for red. Red's got 4 rallies that have already hit and battling. And then UCS has 2 that are battling and 1 that's marching and 1 that's waiting, probably getting reinforced from a decent ways away. Let's see this one. This one's about to hit. This is a counter rally. Okay, so it's not even attacking a structure, it's attacking a rally, which is good. You want to do that. You want to counter rally, especially until it's Cicada. You want to counter rally. But, looking at this, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, guys. You got, you got a debuff army trying to take that. That's not going to work. So let's check back in the middle. That's where all the action is. Let's look at this. I mean, it's still just all kinds of armies all over the place pouring into the middle. They know this is where it's at. Now, again, looks like JWM2, again, with Just B, has the arc, about to drop it again, but has it again. He's the guy for JWM2 for sure. Let's see here. More and more armies, guys. More and more armies pouring in. Just amazing to watch. You should start seeing some alliance skills start to regenerate here fairly soon. And let's check out some of these structures while it's kind of at a stalemate. So this Attila Cicada Rally is going to be going down. This Shrine of Life is going to stay, looks like, in favor of UCS as well. Well, I don't know. These armies swarming this, well, yeah. I think it will stay in favor of UCS, although it's very close match on that part. This is blinking likely because it just lost its buff, its defensive buff. And then again, this Attila Cicada is going down. Now this Wu is having a rough time. It's having a look at that damage. 24k, 19k, 25k against this Attila Cicada rally. JWM2 needs to definitely reinforce. They're doing that, but how long is it going to take for them to get there? I don't know if they're going to have, there's Gecko right there. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to make it. These are definitely archers. You can pour with a. That's the benefit of a Wu Wu army. Gecko replacing his lower army with the bigger one. That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Looks like Knee is also coming in here. It looks like some reinforcements were pretty solid, but UCS has a solid rally on this Wu. It's the right rally against the wrong garrison and open field swarm reinforcement. This is a solid play by UCS. They may actually take the Sky Altar. It's a very good chance. That was probably for the middle, right? Yep. See, so the alliance skill is definitely coming in, and wow, it hasn't moved a bit because everybody's coming in and just killing each other. This arc has barely moved an inch. Again, I told you it's going to take 10 minutes to even capture it, and we're probably working on about 7 or 8 minutes right now. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, guys. Very, very good. UCS coming in, trying to capture this arc. Skills going off like crazy. You saw Constantine's skill go off right there with the with his primary skill there. That helps debuff the attack of its target and the AoE around it as well. And if they've got the right support tree talents, it also snares everybody too. But look at this. Again, Just B rolling with his Belisarius with that arc. He went in there and grabbed it and rolled. He is taking off. It's crazy. Again, looking at the chat here, somebody's talking about provisions as well. I don't know how much provisions is happening on this game. There's so many armies on the map. I mean, there might be 1 or 2 armies doing some provisioning, but probably not much. Probably not much. I'd be surprised, but it's definitely doable. Now, this army is definitely moving enough to where it's taking him back a ways. Look at this. I mean, UCS is trying. They're trying. I mean, they're going to stop him for a little bit, but when it's this far back, it's so tough. It's so tough. The fact that they got it back to the middle the first time was kind of crazy, actually. It's very difficult. Now, again, is this going to stay in favor of JWM2? I don't know if it is. Oh, just enough, guys. Wow. Oh, wait, where's that Guan going? Why is that Guan not going in? I think that's a misclick, guys, and there it is. I think this is going to go down. Is it going to go down? Maybe not. Nope. There it is. They got it. They got it. They were able to defend it. So, again, Arc rolling. Arc is rolling. Just B trying to take this back. He's been the Arc MVP of this match. And yes, this is a knockout match, guys. Whoever loses this goes home. And right now, JWM2 is rolling to a victory. If they get this arc, they're already up by 8,000 points, and they have an even points per minute distribution. With this arc, they'll be up by 12,000 points. It will be game over. 12,000 points in 11 minutes is pretty much not a thing, unless all they did was provision the entire match, which we know is not the case. So more armies coming over from UCS trying to delay the inevitable. I mean, at the end of the day, there's not going to be another arc, guys. This is the last arc. Again, this is what I anticipated for one of the first 2 arcs too. I just don't see how this could possibly have gotten captured as quickly as it did. Congratulations to JWM2 for going ahead and capturing those first 2 arcs so quickly and handily. I think that might be really where UCS kind of lost the match, is the Arc of Osiris. Again, unless they're going to be pulling about 12 to 13,000 provisioning score out of the hat, I don't necessarily see how that's going to be a thing. And here comes JWM2, Just B throwing a kiss to the crowd, giving a quick wave to the peoples, captures it. And with that being said, it's a 12,000 point match in favor of JWM2. They own 3 altars as well. They lost, looks like UCS lost one of their altars. It looks like this Ramses rally took this altar, and more armies or more structures blinking over here. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is a match that is over? JWM2 with a 12,000 point lead. Who do you think is going to win? I mean, this is pretty obvious to me, but let me see what you guys think. Go ahead and throw it in the chat as you are watching, and I think we're ready to call a little bit of a GG here. A little bit of a good game going on for JWM2. I mean, it looks like they're going to move on with 9 minutes left in the match. Yeah, very organized. And yeah, I mean, this is good stuff. So, I mean, looking at this, JWM2 is going to be moving on. Look at all these armies. There's just so many JWM2 all over the place. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Amazing, amazing match. Absolutely amazing. So again, 3 alters in favor of JWM2. We've got UCS trying to do whatever they can, but I think they know at this point, 8.5 minutes left with a 12,000 point difference. It's pretty much impossible to come back again unless, let me look at the provisions. I mean, really. There's people provisioning. I mean, that's a thing. But 12,000 points is very hard to come by. 12,000 points is very hard to come by. They needed that arc. They really needed that arc to make a play and hope that JWM2 didn't do any provisioning and UCS did a ton. They needed that arc to even make that a possibility. And yeah, JWM and JWM2 always provision, right? Like they always have some flavor of provisioning. But I actually don't see anybody on the open field here. So maybe they've already come back. It's very possible. Or they're waiting by their city. I don't know if there's any cities in here. There's 6 teleports available, so probably not. Yeah, they're all out here. I don't know. I don't see any siege anywhere. Maybe JWM2 didn't do any provisioning. Maybe that's why they won. Because they had more armies on the field instead of farming. That's very possible. Yeah, and guys, so as this is wrapping up here, Gecko will be doing the same thing with his matchup at 15 UTC. He's going to be casting at 15 UTC his matchup. And that should be starting here in about an hour, just over an hour. So make sure you come back to this channel and check out that cast because he'll be doing what I'm doing right now with a different match. Equally as exciting though. Yes, this is Dragothian. Everybody's asking. Doing the cast, enjoying what I'm seeing, having fun. That's what Osiris League Playoffs is all about. Also victory. That's also about victory. People love the victory. And JWM2 is looking like they're going to do just that. Knock out UCS again for the 2nd season in a row. They didn't do it last season. However, they were knocked out in the knockout round. UCS was. Same fashion. I think they were favored significantly and just came up a little short against a very solid opponent in JWM2. And again, UCS, huge kudos to them. They did an amazing job. They've got the right things, doing the right timings. It's just, I think JWM2 just executed a little bit better, just a little bit. And in these matches, guys, it's just that little bit. It's just that little bit that matters to take these victories. And look at just swarms everywhere of JWM2. They're not losing any of these defensive structures at all. And they're taking things away from UCS still with again, looks like 12,500 point advantage. Great job to both sides. This is a really good match. So there's 4 minutes left. I wonder if they're all going to meet in the middle because there's 4 minutes left for the arc to spawn and 5.5 minutes in the match. I'm interested to see if they're all going to come to the middle. I doubt they will, but I thought it'd be pretty funny if they did because the match is over. 40,500 points in favor of JWM2 over 27,394 points in favor of UCS. So very, very solid match to watch. I enjoyed all of this. This until it's Cater Rally's trying its very, very best, but I don't see it actually taking this structure. There's too many JWM2 sitting here, although that Richard's looking a little low. That Richard is looking a little low. So, guys, what do the other matches look like, by the way? We're going to check them, obviously, after the match here is over. But what do the other matches look like as well? Go ahead and put that in the chat for everybody to see, or at least for me to see, so we can check that out. Yep, people are going back to the middle. Yeah. At least JWM2 is going to the middle. UCS is like, I'm going to take some structures. Take out these rallies coming into our structures. That's the thing. Yeah, I know that a lot of you guys in the chat bet pretty heavily on JWM2 because of the ratio that you're going to get on your coins, and then also because of you thought they were going to win. So, good job to you guys, and I think I did the same thing yesterday on my stream. That's going to be fun, though. This is going to be interesting. I'm interested to see what those other 2 matches look like. Yeah, everyone throws smooches to Gecko is what Ninja's saying. DS Kiddo says, wait for this, 20,000 gathering points from UCS. That would be probably the highest provisioning score I've ever seen in my life. How about that? So structures are even on both sides still, 590 to 590. But again, JWM2 has done the deed. They have taken victory away from UCS. They're knocking UCS out of the Osiris League playoffs. And yeah, I mean, great job to both alliances. JWM2 coming out on top, moving on. And as this match kind of winds down with 3 minutes left, 1.5 minutes until the arc spawns. Let's see if anybody from, a couple people came in. Like, hey, maybe I can capture an arc really quick. But nah, that's not how that works. So JWM2 says, no, nobody captures arcs in our matches except for us. That is why we are not letting you touch it. You don't come anywhere near that Ark of Osiris temple. So, again, as you see over here, OV won Season 1. They made it through these very playoffs in Season 1. And they are also one of the matches that are coming up later today that Gecko, again, is casting. It's going to be MFLD from Kingdom 93. And then you've got OV from Kingdom 52, who, again, were the previous season winners of Osiris League. Make sure you tune in to this very channel to watch that match. It's going to be amazing and certainly going to be a heavy fighting match just like this one. This one was very close right up until that second arc capture for JWM2, and then finally that third one really just kind of put it in and got that thing nailed down in favor of JWM2. And again, you can't discount how hard both of these alliances have fought and planned and put time into this. Both teams deserve to win, but JWM2 just executed a little bit better, it seemed like, on the battlefield, and that shows in the score. So very good job to both teams. Excellent job to JWM2 for knocking out a heavyweight alliance that people thought were going to go deep into this playoff because of their new strategy that they've been using this season, and just wasn't quite enough. It's about a 10,000 point game now. Some provisioning's coming in favor of UCS, but again, I just don't think it's going to be enough unless this one army has about 10,000 points worth of provisioning. I just don't see it happening. There's not enough coming in from the rest of the alliances. There's a couple things coming in, but I mean, not enough. It's just 10,000 points is a lot of provisions. A lot of provisions. It's just not going to happen. Go look at the arc fast. Okay, let's see. Oh my goodness, look how fast. Look how fast he is. This Belisarius is on fire. He's got the charge talent going on because he's half health. He probably had a little bit of a buff there too. And looks like he's paired up with Caesar. Is that Caesar? Belly Caesar. That's an interesting combo. I'll look into that. So I think he's going to go. Yeah, it depends on if this Charles can take him down. He's going to be close. 17 seconds. Are they going to be able to capture a last arc? It's going to be just at the right time. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to have enough time. Getting hit by that army is slowing him down significantly. 2 seconds. 1. And that is the match, folks. JWM2 winning by a 9,000 point margin. Fantastic job in favor of JWM2. UCS taking the most valuable player. Persian King from the UCS side did grab that. That was probably due to rallies of some way, shape, or form. So let's go ahead and move on from that. Good job to Persian King for taking MVP, but better and greater job to JWM2. Look at the provision score. They actually did do some provisioning. 6,200 points for provisions for JWM2, 8,000 for UCS. So they won that point battle, and the occupation score was almost identical. Look how crazy that is. But Ark of Osiris score. This is where, like I said, the match was won. This is where you wanted to have those points be in your favor and not in JWM2's, and that's why they won. So look at the total kills too. 42.8 million kills for UCS. Only 34.3, when I say only, compared to 42.8. But that's about a 9 million point difference, or 9 million kill difference. But that is amazing. Both of these kill totals are crazy. But that's really high that just goes to show that it's not necessarily just about the kills, guys. It's about the strategy. It's about positioning your troops and killing those things where they're supposed to be killed. Some healing done on both sides too. I'm very curious. I've not seen that from either one of these alliances in quite some time. 30 teleports used for JWM2. And again, this is the number, guys. 3 Ark of Osiris captures, almost that 4th one as well. Throw some GGs in the chat, guys, for JWM2 winning the first match of the knockout round for Season 2. Definitely enjoyed doing this with you guys. I really enjoyed playing this match for you. Just looking at the next match coming up. Let me go ahead and swap a little bit here to the other thing so you can see my face. So yes, we're back. Thank you all for joining me today. Again, we're not going to go too crazy into any additional stuff. I do want to pop in and see what the other scores are. So let's go jump into that really quick. I want to go see what the other scores are. I'll quickly run down the 13 UTC scores. So we hit watch. So it looks like BBTH did pull out the victory against 166. That was a very close match. And then again, we just saw this one. UCS lost to JWM2 pretty handily. HKL handling 1008. That was one of my picks to possibly win this match. Yes, this is, man, this is awesome. This is why this event is so fun, because you never know who's going to win. Both of these teams here, very, very evenly matched. All these teams really evenly matched, especially from a power perspective. This is where the strategies come into play. HKL with a higher point total against 1008 than JWM2 against UCS. However, again, the point totals were pretty significant, the differences. So this was a 16,000 point match roughly. This was about a 9,000 point match, and really provisions at the end kind of brought that a little bit together. But other than that, this was probably one of the more tighter matches to watch towards the end. But again, all 3 of these matches likely were very, very good. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. Again, coming up next at the 15 UTC hour, we have Misfits Line Division against the Overlord, or Overlords, defending champions of Season 1. Gecko's going to be casting that one. That one's going to be amazing. And again, this is going to be a big matchup. Look at all these 15 UTC matchups. 89PX versus C9N. JWM proper versus K9T. P245 Punishers versus V163. And finally, Smash Squad against Newbie 2. So those are all going to be very, very good matches. You'll be seeing this match, MFLD versus OV, live on this channel. Make sure you come back. I hope you guys have enjoyed your morning and your stream. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers and take care.